Our man Jason Jones is here to save the day. What's up, Jay?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much. Just hanging in. Went to Raw last night.
How
And
was that?
oh, had a good time. It was just I didn't roll with the kids, so I got to like be a kid myself and go to the concert, buy myself some. Got me a new hat, and like
Hold up. What is this? Is that the Judgment?
That's
Judgment
Cody,
Day?
right?
Oh, that's Cody. That's Cody.
this is the camo Cody. I can't really do the American flag style.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, it gives. Yeah, I couldn't really. I can't
Yeah.
do that one.
Give strong,
Jason Walker.
gives strong blacks for Trump vibes. Like that.
No, true story.
Flag hat.
Yeah, years ago, I went to the Prophets of Rage show, and they had a hat that says "Make America Rage Again," and it's red.
Be careful.
And I wore it to like Vlade did like a little press gathering and
Oh,
back, and all these guys in pickup trucks kept honking at me. I'm like, what's going on? And then Sean Cunningham is like, dude, they think you have a MAGA hat. And I was like, what? I was like, what in the hell? Like, I've never been this liked in this part of town.
at no point did you think when you got that hat, like,
No,
hey,
I got the reference that it said. I got it. I knew what they were doing, but just the reaction in public. 'Cause even Sean was like, whoa, okay, I didn't know what you were wearing for a second. Because I had my Prophets of Rage shirt with them. It had the whole outfit with it.
oh man.
So yeah.
Did Vlade say anything?
Vlade wasn't tripping off. Vlade wasn't tripping off of that. Vlade's my buddy though. That's my buddy. He always, he always says, hey buddy, we're both from LA. I'm like, yeah, that's my guy.
Some of Vlade's friends would have really liked it.
Wow.
Oh yeah, one of them in particular. He might have actually liked me if he saw it.
Well, let's not go that that far, Jason. Let's not.
Yeah, I'm not rich. He likes the rich ones. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, yo. I'm sorry.
Barely like Bobby.
He half like Doug. So I mean, hey.
Well,
I'm sorry. This is once again. This is gone completely.
Early on.
I was just wondering how wrestling was last night.
Yeah, I was going to point out the fact that I was going to like try to check the Kings game out, and and I was like, and no, what's crazy? During the game, during Raw, I was going to check the score. I was like, even they can't lose this game. And then I get home and I'm like, well, of course they lost.
So here's the thing. I think you said it. Damien said it. They should have won the game. They should have won the game. I don't dispute that. This game isn't Charlotte and Detroit, though.
No.
Miami, even with the players out, they got an all-star in Bam. Kevin Love still produces. Jaime, he played better than maybe I thought, but he played really well. And you got Spo. It should have won the game, but like I said, maybe it's just me. It doesn't feel like it was Detroit, though.
To me, if you're going to be you can't lose that. You can't lose that game. You just can't. And I'm looking at the bottom four in the West. That 7, 8, 9, 10. It's crazy that if it stays that way, either the Kings, Mavs, the Lakers, or Warriors, 2 of those teams aren't making the playoffs. And that's just crazy to think about. But all 4 of those teams have kind of the same, some of the same traits. That inconsistency, that can lose, that can beat anybody but lose to anybody trait. The at times very shaky, questionable defense. They're all kind of like, the Spider-Man meme looking at each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they definitely are. So you probably missed the context of that game. And I'm sure you've caught up with this since then. They were down 20. It was a game. It was just a regular basketball game where it's like if the Kings can turn it on a little bit, they put this thing away and it'd be just fine. And then like Miami hit hyperdrive. Kevin Love went back to Minnesota and just shut the Kings down in the third quarter. They go into the fourth. I'm sure you caught this. De'Aaron walks off the floor disgusted at the end of the fourth quarter. They're down 20-21. And then the Kings just come out firing with a defensive, a pretty tough defensive intensity in the fourth quarter. find themselves down 10 with 6 minutes. They get it down to 2 and couldn't get that one last stop, one last shot.
So real quick, what kind of happened was it was an even game, and then Miami goes on like a 15-2 run, and the Kings will go on like a 14-1 run.
Mm-hmm.
And then they play an even game again.
Yeah.
Not even, but I mean Miami's like
I feel you. Yeah. I just think this cut up a couple of things. One, the fact that everyone kind of said this is a very losable game for them going in, kind of tells you how their season has been. And I think you can kind of throw away one, but if you didn't have it in the context with the Charlotte, with a Detroit, with a Portland, you put it all together. That's what makes it kind of like, okay, yeah, you can see this happening. I think you play 82 games. There's going to be games where everyone loses a game. You go, how did that happen? But imagine the Kings end up, in the 7 or 8 spot and have to win, to get in. And it's a game or two difference. And that's when you start going, man, if you don't lose to Detroit at home, if you don't lose to Charlotte, that's when it really kicks you. They got time to recover, but I just think it's you throw all those together. You go, man, you take those 4 games and flip those to wins, completely different. They're completely different spots. So you got time to fix it, but it's kind of indicative of how their season is gone.
Do you think this Kings team is capable of changing their course a little bit, in the end of the season and being a little bit more consistent? Or is it written? Shout out Nas. This is just kind of who they are. They'll be up and down until the last game of the season.
I think that's just who they are. I think, this is who they, mainly because defensively, this is who they are. I mean, it's one thing to give up 121 to, to the Heat down that many guys. I mean, it's just kind of who they are. And as long as when you're a shaky defensive team, teams are going to be in the game, and there's going to be nights where no matter how much you turn it on, if someone's cooking, they're cooking. Especially nowadays, you can't touch anybody, you can't do anything defensive. I think the NBA hates defense. So I mean, it's just I think this is kind of who they are, and in a lot of ways, this is who they were last year too. But the big difference this year is that the teams around them are all playing better. So maybe where you got away with it more and you ended up in 3, like I said, they could legit miss the playoffs. They could get 45 plus wins, end up in 7 or 8, and then you get in that situation. Anything can happen. We saw a couple of years ago where the Warriors were 8. Mm-hmm. They had Steph and everyone. They get beaten LA, and then they come home, and you think, okay, they're going to beat they're going to beat Memphis, and then Ja goes off on them.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, it's just, it's going to be an interesting next couple of months because so many different things could happen with this team, and like I said, from 6, really can say 6 on down, because it's not like the Pelicans are 5 games ahead of everyone else.
I think you could throw Phoenix in there too. You could make it's really 5, 6, 7, and 8 for now, and then the Lakers got some work to do to get into that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The Warriors have some work to do to get into that conversation. But I think your point still stands when you talk about the bottom 4 postseason teams. The 2 teams we're probably going to be a little bit surprised with are going to be eliminated.
Yeah, a Luka and Kyrie team could miss the playoffs again. I mean,
that made a bunch of moves at the trade deadline.
Yeah, and the thing is too is if you're 7 or 8, you don't want to risk the idea that your season's on the line and you got to either beat Steph or LeBron. I mean, there's a realistic possibility you could be 7. If you're 7 and you lose that game, it could come down to, just beat Steph. And then Steph, and Clay comes off the bench and has like a playing, I guess it would be playing game Clay.
Yeah, I don't want no parts of that.
Yeah. No, but I don't think anybody wants no parts of that.
Yeah. And that's the thing, but it's such a fine line, because you look at, I mentioned these 2 teams earlier, the Lakers and the Miami Heat last year. Lakers around this time last year were 3-4 games under 500, but they found a way to get everything together, got into the play-in, and weren't they down by like 12 in the fourth quarter to Minnesota?
Yeah, they almost lost that game.
Yeah, but they found a way. They got in. They won 2 series. And then we all know what happened with Miami. Miami, I think, was another. They lost their first playing game.
Yeah.
It was down like
Losing
10
to Chicago.
Yep. They found a way to bounce back, got into the series, had a couple things go their way, and they got to the NBA Finals. So I guess that's part of the reason why you just keep pushing. Keep pushing.
Yeah, but you don't want to have to do it that way. But I think what happened with the Lakers last year, them ending up in the play-in favored them seeding wise, because then they draw Memphis. If you're down a notch, I forgot who 3 was. 3 was the Kings. But instead you get Memphis down Ja Morant.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
You said something a minute ago that sparked my attention, talking about they don't let you defend anymore. Do you have a problem with the way the league looks offensively? Do you have a problem with the way basketball looks this year?
Yeah, I mean, I just like I said, I'm in my 40s now, so maybe I'm now old, but it's hard to explain, but it used to feel like getting 40 meant something, or 50. And now it's just easy to do. Excuse me, I got my little allergies acting up right now, but it's just, I think the All-Star game was indicative of just how the league is. It's just not emphasizing stopping people. And then you get last night where my man gets tackled on the Pistons, and nothing gets called. I mean, that was a great, game-saving tackle right there. I was like, wow. And they get in the ball. I mean, it's just, I think they don't want to go back to the mid-90s where, I think I saw a post, someone said, tell someone born in the 2000s that when they wouldn't believe about the NBA. And I was like, you guys wouldn't believe there were games that ended 88, 84. Like that was the end of the game.
That's the
you
first
don't want
half.
to go back to that, but I just think they've gone so far away from that. It's so much easier to get to the line, and I think they've really handicapped the defenders. I would love to see. Yeah, honestly, go back to hand checking. Let's go back to hand checking. Get rid of and let guys man up. Get rid of the zones, and hey, hand check. I would love to see that. I would love to see a guy like a Kawhi Leonard be able to use those type of skills in defense nowadays.
I thought, I wanted to make sure before I said, but I thought this was the case, and I was right. The Tayshaun Prince block on Reggie Miller, it was 69-67.
Like in the fourth quarter.
Yes, 8 seconds to go.
That's
come
incredible.
on, man.
That's incredible.
Phoenix scored 45 in the first quarter the other day. That would have been the end of the third in that game, probably. There were some games where it was just like, what is this? Like it got so bad where it was like you basically had wrestling matches on the court, and like you don't want to go all the way back to that. But I don't think anyone thought that. Yeah, we'll see like a 70-point game and won't even flinch because somebody else got 68 the other game. And it wasn't that long ago. Remember when Book got 70 and it was like, wow, like Embiid did it, like, okay, yeah, he got 70, no big deal.
Yeah, Books was kind of.
Yeah.
They was fouling to get Book to the it was goofy.
Yeah, it was. And I think there's a stat about I think Book's like top 3 or something scoring games or 4, whatever it is. They always lose.
Mm-hmm.
So
come on.
Yeah, he had a 60 this year, right?
Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Didn't Cat have like 60 in a loss?
Yeah,
he got benched.
He had it the same night.
Or no, he got
no, he got cussed out by Chris Finch in the post game. But yeah, he had 64, maybe 60 something.
It was like it was like the game's now in the balance. He's like, hold up, it was like the All-Star game.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was like. And Joe, that was the night Joe, I think, had 70.
Yeah. What you talked about the play last night in the Knicks Pistons game, and it's just a regular occurrence now. Once a week, either a player or a coach is talking about how ridiculous, and rightfully so, a call was or the officiating is. I was trying to think about it earlier, and we were talking about earlier how does the NBA even fix that? Because it doesn't feel like, number one, you can't just fire the refs in the middle of the season. And it doesn't feel like, oh, we're going to get rid of this ref. Let's go get these other refs. Like, it feels like refereeing the game of basketball is an issue right now. So how do you even fix that?
I don't know. It's tough because I mean, like personally, I can't stand the last 2-minute report. I think it's the dumbest thing to do. Like, why do you put this out here and embarrass your refs and you're not going to change anything? Like, do I really need to know after I lost my game that, oh yeah, by the way, with 1 minute and 31 to go, they messed up? Like a call like I don't even understand why a call like last night that you don't, if you have a replay thing, there's no mechanism to say, hey, that was pretty blatant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty blatant. I mean, I don't understand why you can't do that. I mean, I remember what happened with the last year Lakers in Boston, where it was like a clear foul, and then they had that horrible tweet. Like
League lost sleep over that one.
Never had another tweet like that.
League lost sleep over that one.
They lost. Yeah, they really went to bed struggling because of. I don't know how you fix it. I really do.
Not so much the Pistons, but man, that really.
The Pistons ain't getting no tweet.
Hell, not even the Knicks. Poor Jalen Brunson.
That's not the sleep I've had in months.
Then the refs are going to tweet, "You guys are tanking anyway. Shut up."
No.
Yeah, I don't know what you do to fix that.
I don't either.
I mean, to me, I know you don't want to override the human element too much, probably, but I don't see how that can happen in a game, and there isn't some. I mean, Secaucus isn't that far from where that game was, right? I mean, how do you not just say, "Hey, we're," I don't know what you do.
Hold up, stop play.
Buzz one of the refs.
Yeah, stop play. Because doesn't that what the NFL does? Doesn't the NFL have
for turnovers and stuff, like not necessarily for penalties, right?
Yeah, like for turnover, I think, or if there's a
fumble, like, hey, maybe you want to take a look at this or something.
Yeah, maybe you want. I mean, but with that, I don't know what my man was doing on that. I mean, my man came in and made a straight form tackle, followed through, took him out at the hip. Didn't risk injuring his knee. I mean, perfect tackle.
Yeah.
All 4 officials should have to go to the podium after the game.
Yes, they should answer. There ain't no pool reporter situation.
Have you ever done the pool reporter? We're not going to keep Jason too long, just in case he dies on the air.
Oh no, I'm all right. It's weird. Like literally, I've been cool all day, and then all of a sudden, I think it's I'm confused by Kenny San Angeles. I can't tell if he's Los Angeles.
No, man, it's just it's just shout out H&M.
Yeah.
He was trying to rep LA. He didn't really want to rep LA
3 years ago.
Well, you've confused a couple of people today with your shirt, so they just know it's good to clarify.
He was like, I want to rep LA, but I don't want to offend my people.
That is a very aggressive. No,
I mean, then you got the White Sox hat on, too, repping Dr. Dre from the '92 video. I see you. I see what you're doing.
Dre Day.
That's a very Compton-esque outfit.
That was
what you're doing.
Very unnecessary of them to pour all those 40s on the
I don't know why we thought that was funny back in the day, but it was.
Yeah, she was being bougie, but that was not the way to handle it.
I mean, we you know better, you do better. Now we know that's called harassment. Back then,
it's amazing that we didn't know that in '92. That hey, you just can't pour 160 ounces of malt liquor onto somebody.
Yeah, we was like, she had it coming.
This like her attitude.
No, it's not.
There's a lot of things. I mean, I'm not going to get into anything detailed, but there's a lot of things that happened that you look back and go, how was that ever okay?
Yeah, I believe we discussed some of them on 102.5 today, if I'm not mistaken.
An underrated one is the way we used to they used to have kids in the car.
Yeah, right? We were young then. We weren't driving.
Yeah, it wasn't my decision, but I would we had a Ford Escort. We used to sit in the trunk because they had like a little open spot. We're sitting in the trunk.
Did you ever ride in the back of an El Camino? You were riding the back of it. I used to ride in the back of an El Camino. We had no seat belts, no seats, nothing.
Bruh.
On the 405, the 110, and all that.
Oh.
The back of an El Camino.
Oh. Damn shame what happened to Jason Jones.
I look back, it was like
potholes, and how
did adults ever think that was okay? just get in the back of the Elko.
That is wild.
Yeah, nah.
And us being dumb kids, we're like, "Woo, this is fun!
This is awesome."
Yeah,
And for the record, my mom did not know that happened. That wasn't like my actual parents who did that. But yeah, it was like, wow, this is fun. And it's like, yeah, we were one bad bump away from tragedy.
Man,
Mm.
all bad.
Mm,
All bad.
mm, mm.
Hey,
well, I'm glad we've gotten smarter.
Can I ask Jason about his thoughts on? Well, I guess I will right now.
Sure, why not?
Okay. Jason,
Were you going to ask me if you could ask?
Yeah, just ask the people.
You're gonna clear it with you first. Like, hey, before I ask, is it okay if I ask?
I thought it was interesting, the conversation that came about with LeBron's tweet yesterday about Bronny and all this other stuff. And Stephen A was on First Take this morning, and he didn't do it in like the classic Stephen A way, like you better watch who you're talking. It wasn't like that, but he was just like, LeBron, this is your fault. Like you want people to backtrack and not, make a story out of him being in mock drafts and all this other stuff when you've loosely implied a number of times. Damien said he retracted a little bit, but talked about you wanted to play with him in the NBA. You've talked in the Lake room where cameras are there talking about Bronny better than half of these guys, all this other stuff. So it's hard for you to come back and be like, hey, just let him be a kid and all this other stuff. What do you think about that whole situation?
I want to say first, let's just be glad he's alive.
Yes.
I mean, I think let's just be glad he's alive. I mean, the fact that he's even playing basketball, given what he had, the health scare, is a miracle. Secondly, I've been saying, for 2 or 3 years ago, I'm saying, is he even an NBA player? When Bron is saying, I want to play with my son, I want to play with my son. You put a humongous target on him with that. And to me, you subject him to even more scrutiny because now everyone's going, is he a player? Now, what happens is people say, well, no, Bryce is going to be way better than him. And you can't say things in the open locker room like after you lose the game, oh yeah, my son can help us, and then get mad. We point out his stats, or the fact that USC was a ranked team, and now that go Bears, Cal beat them twice.
Yeah, got 13 wins. I saw that over the weekend.
Yeah, yeah, man. After one win last season, shout out to Mark Madsen. A Stanford man who's doing it right now. But yeah, it's very LeBron-esque, should I say, to put all this out there, then all of a sudden to be like, oh, I think it's more so, to me, it's like you're mad because now people are being critical. Oh, now, no, you weren't saying let him be a kid when people had him in the top 15 in a mock draft. It wasn't, hey, leave my son alone, let him play. Now that people are saying, no, he's not an NBA player right now, all of a sudden it's, no, let him be a kid. And I don't think anyone, I mean, you're obviously going to have these adults out there who hate on Bronny because of who his dad is. I don't think most of us are doing that. But I do think when you come out and basically, I mean, I think we had a story in The Athletic about the Lakers exploring drafting him to keep LeBron happy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you have all that going on. You can't be mad that people are examining his game and looking at him critically.
Yeah. And I think also Bronny's a little bit of a victim of like the way basketball, the cycle of basketball is right now. Bronny is an 18-year-old freshman, is not ready to go to the NBA. But if this was, a different time when kids stayed 2, 3, 4 years in college, 22-year-old Bronny might be ready to be drafted and be a late first round or something like that.
Right.
But since he's not there today, they make it look like he's a failure.
Or he's terrible. It's like I said, he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And I know one of the comps I've seen was Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart wasn't a one and done. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a guy going to college and not leaving after his first year. Not everyone's a one and done. And I just think let Bronny be a high school kid, or not in high school, college. I had a meeting down at USC this weekend. They got his jersey on sale and everything in the student store. No, let him be Bronny. Let him figure out his own lane. And that, but I think it also reminds us that LeBron's like the rest of us. He's a crazy dad like everyone else. That's what it is, Yeah, I'm laughing right now myself because I was like, I haven't coughed all day when I took my allergy. I've been cool all day.
No, it's because you're talking. It happens to both of us when his allergies hit or I get a little under the weather. I'll be like, okay, I'm fine. I'm gonna make it. 12:00 hits by 12:05. I sound like you. That's all it is.
I'm like, I said, I've been chilling all day. Went to the gym, everything.
Yeah, second we say goodbye, you're gonna be just fine.
Yeah, watching Drink Champs earlier because I wanted to see that Benzino interview.
Boy.
That was a. I mean, I think we need. I mean, I'm gonna write about it on my Substack, but I'm just like, at some point, we got to stop letting people keep drinking and talking.
Yeah, they can't. The premise of the show is a little wild.
But I mean,
it's working.
It's absolutely working.
They got Benzino drunk and he started crying.
I mean, I went from intrigued to embarrassed to like, we shouldn't be seeing this. I'm like, man, this is like, I just like
get a little uncomfortable.
I was just like, should this be happening with a therapist, not with more Hennessy? I'm like, this is just like, what? I mean, he was on blunt number 2 when I paused that. I mean, he was on his second blunt. I mean, at some point, we're exploiting people.
Well, that's exactly what happened.
I mean, dude like, created the source right here.
I'm like, I love Nori. I love what they the youngsters are like, y'all think that dude is cool? That dude did what back in the day? Rap must have been whack in the 90s if that dude was anything.
And I love what Nori and them have created. They do a great job, but not everybody can drink like them and like be okay. Like sometimes it gets a little crazy when you drink as much as they have those guys drinking on.
Yeah, see, sometimes there's like Vegas drinking where it's like you drink all day, but it's Vegas, you're hot, it don't. But then there's like I said, you're sitting in a studio, controlled climate, you're not sweating it out, and you're just like, and I mean, and he was taking he wasn't taking sips, he was taking swigs.
Yeah.
And he came on the show talking about, I know I want to drink so I can tell my truth. I'm like, oh, that can't be a good idea. No. You walk in saying, if I ever walk into the spot and tell y'all, give me some drinks, I want to talk, it's probably not going to be a good day. It's probably going to be it's probably going to be terrible.
Yeah. Jason, here's some tea. Sit down, sir. We're not going to.
Like, no, hold on. Pour me another one. I've got some more stuff I want to get off my chest.
No.
And then, then my third one. Oh, by the way, let's get to my work colleagues. Give me another one.
Okay, well then we might go live. As soon as Jason starts doing that, then we might fire up the stream. And so, Jay,
let me tell you about that one road trip. Pour me another one.
Let's start with the Sacramento Bee, and then we'll transition to the Athletic.
Well, I don't know if they'd be drunk to talk about that guy, but hey.
Well, okay. You know what? I feel like we should let Jason go now. Just
these last 2 weeks, I've been a little bit. Let's just keep it on like the Kings and the NBA and Cody Rhodes.
We don't need Jay Zeno to come out.
Oh no, I'm completely sober. Trust me, I would no.
Hey,
I've had
was there a gender reveal at the?
Yeah. After there was a gender reveal at the end after the cameras went off. Yeah.
So what did Cody do? I saw like a headline for it. Did he like throw something in the air that was pink? Like,
no,
what happened?
They brought the envelope. And Cody opened the envelope in the ring and showed everyone that it was a boy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's cool.
And he told them, don't name your child Cody. He said, don't give your child the name Cody. It's a horrible redneck name. My parents were crazy.
Well, that was Dusty Rhodes with just loose scar tissue on his forehead. So.
Yeah.
Oh, it was somebody else's kid.
Yeah, it was somebody else's kid. It wasn't it wasn't Cody's kid. I don't think Brandy would go for that. Hey, we're going to go to San Jose and reveal the gender in front of the world.
Yeah, I don't think he's just going to do it with an envelope either. They'll do
off air. I just picked San Jose to reveal my child's gender.
They'd also have the rock bottom Brandy first, just to get more heel heat on them.
Rock bottom Brandy. Well, no, you wouldn't want to do that. But rock bottom Cody into like balloons and whatever dust came out.
Yeah, and the Rock would cut a promo about you're going to name.
Congratulations, bitch, and leave.
You're going to name your son Dwayne now.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it would. It would have been much. Yeah, it would. But but I mean, I got to give Cody his props. My kids to the house show a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, I fought off the adults, and Cody, did come back and sign my kid's belt. So for at least one day, my kid thought I was a cool father.
Nice.
That's terrific.
You know, so like I said, you know, that's why I said, you know what, I'll rock the Cody hat because you know you made my child happy. So that's, you know, that's.
You getting the other one? You getting the other Cody hat?
Probably not. No, I probably, you know, because I mean, if I got that hat, I'd have to get those other shoes to match what Nick Bosa's going to turn.
All right, Jason, get out of here.
You know, Bosa's going to rock them cleats. They gold too, with red on the bottom.
What's with us? Did you see him in the wave cap during practice? He was transformed. Nick Bosa. Yeah.
Whatever. Whatever. Tell him to read the option better next time.
Oh no.
Yeah, he gonna rock them though. He gonna rock them. You know it. They gold with red on. Oh, come on. You know he gonna do it.
I can't believe those things happen.
You see Fat Joe with him on IG?
They selling.
Oh,
Fat Joe was
like, at him.
Fat Joe, yeah, there's a whole video. He's like, I'm a collector. I did not buy them, but they had them. I had to get my hands on them. I'm a collector.
No, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
I'm like, you really didn't have to get them, Joe. Joe was like, he said, I'm a Democrat. I'm not voting for him, but I had to have the shoe.
Okay,
Joe. Yeah, I mean, he swears. Joe swears he didn't buy the shoe. He swears he didn't pay for the shoe.
Hey, what? Remember who did Joe like during the draft?
I don't know, man.
Okay,
Grady.
No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said.
That's okay. Joe wasn't as wild as my man Joel Myers. He had Antonio Daniels wanting to fight him during his show.
Well,
I was hoping the Kings would draft him. Fox gives the ball to Dick.
Okay, Jason, we'll see you next week. Thank you.
It's the man's name. It's the man's name.
I know, Jason. We've got to end the show. You've been Zeno'd the show. We're shutting it down.
I'm sorry. Let me come back next week. I promise I'll behave.
No. We'll take this Jason Jones any day. We'll see you next week.
All right, Chuck. Take it easy.